2020 graduates to our first ever virtual graduation celebration. I'm Bill Benson, and I'm the Independent Living Coordinator for the Alabama Department of Human Resources, and I just want to take a minute to welcome you and congratulate you on your accomplishment. I don't know if high school was easy, difficult, or just a social opportunity for you, but yeah, you have graduated high school or maybe completed your GED. Either way, this is a big deal for every youth who achieves getting a diploma or a certification. 20% of all youth and 35% of foster youth never graduate high school, but you did it. This entire virtual celebration is in honor of you. Here is your virtual pat on the back, your high five. Again, you deserve it. You know, the coolest thing about this achievement in your life is that it just marks the beginning to your next achievement, your next opportunity, your next success in life. Sometimes we struggle finding that first step, that first triumph, that first thing of importance. But here it is, done, completed. What an incredible feeling knowing that you, along with so many others, have reached a goal, overcome an obstacle, obtained a victory. You did it. That diploma and certification is a clear indication that you have accomplished something. That diploma and certification marks value and worth, your value and your worth. And it is something no one can ever take from you. No one can ever look at you and say you can't, you won't, or you are not able, because you have, you did, and you know because of that diploma, you can accomplish anything you set your mind on again and again. So it's time to pursue activities that truly interest you. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Just know you don't have to map out your entire future now, and you definitely don't have to do it on your own. You are never alone. As you will see throughout this celebration of you, so many people believe in you. They want you to succeed, and they are here so you can do great things. So seek out people to help you. Ask advice, over-communicate what you want. This is just the beginning of something great. Congratulations on what you have accomplished, 2020 graduate. And remember, we are so proud of you. So welcome 2020 graduates to your virtual graduation celebration.
Hello, graduates of 2020. I wanted to take a little bit of time just to tell you all a huge, major congratulations. You did it. Man, what a year. And you are the one, you are the people, you are the ones who persevered, who pushed through, who pressed through, who are going to college, going to the military, moving on, reaching your goals, pushing the limits. You have done that. You have done that in a year that is one of the hardest times in the entire world. And not only that, but you did it while in foster care. You did it in the midst of having to change schools. You did it in a group home, you did it in a foster home, you did it away from your family, you did it away from your siblings. You rocked that, you killed that. And I just wanted to come here to tell you that I am unbelievably proud of you. Just keep moving, keep pressing, keep pushing towards your goals. Knock those statistics out of the park. You guys are amazing, and I love you so much. I can't wait to hear all the amazing things that you are doing in this world. Be world changers and be great. I love you all so much. Bye.
Congratulations, graduates. My name is Amber Anderson. I am a board member of the Children's Aid Society. I am delighted to sit in front of you today to congratulate you on this major accomplishment. I know that each and every one of you have been able to experience the highlights, the challenges, and the rewards of what you have experienced over the last 12 years. But most importantly, I want you to recognize the most achievable moment in your life is right now. You are officially a graduate of the class of 2020. What more could you ask for in this pandemic that we are experiencing? I want you now to not only pat yourself on the back, but appreciate the time, effort, and energy that you have accomplished a major milestone in your life that will lead you to your next journey. So at this particular moment in life, I want you to first enjoy the excitement of knowing that you are a high school graduate. Secondly, I want you to know that you are the engine that drives your career. And thirdly, I want you to put your foot on the gas and make that initiative happen. And I want you to know that each and every day may bring new obstacles, but you're ready because your foot is always on the gas to make a better life for you. Congratulations again, and enjoy this moment in your season.
On behalf of the Children's Aid Society of Alabama, I'm honored to say congratulations, graduates. We celebrate each of you and your accomplishments. We had hoped to celebrate with you in person, but unfortunately, this pandemic has prevented us from doing that. This pandemic has prevented many things, and we acknowledge the sadness, anger, and disappointment that it has brought. However, the coronavirus does not have to take away from you as a person, your accomplishments, your journey, and what you hope to become. It does not take away your dreams and hopes for a bright future. It does not stand in the way of accomplishing your goals. The way you go about it may look different for a while. We will continue to celebrate you and look forward to the day that we can do that in person. In the meantime, we are here to walk beside you as your journey continues. May you walk in peace and with courage until we meet again.
Today, we honor you, graduates of the class of 2020. We honor you for your hard work and outstanding achievements in education. We honor you for arriving at this pivotal moment in your lives, despite the tremendous obstacles in your path. All of you have displayed remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. That resilience is a trait that will help guide you on the next journey in your lives. It is a characteristic that will bring you courage as you encounter new challenges, toughness during difficult times, and determination when others would want to throw in the towel. All of you have proven yourselves to be strong individuals. Take pride in your achievement. Carry that pride with you and let it motivate you as you set your sights on new goals. Always believe in yourself and follow your dreams. Each and every one of you has the ability to do great things and to have a positive impact on your communities and the world. Use your resilience to never stop striving to reach your goals. You all have the ability to be who you want to be and do what you want to do if you believe in yourself and use your talents to reach your goals. Your future is bright, and we are so proud of you. I wish you all the success that you deserve in reaching your dreams. Congratulations to you, graduates of the class of 2020.
I am honored to join the Children's Aid Society of Alabama's Independent Living Program in celebrating your achievements as graduates of the class of 2020. I am proud of the work you have accomplished thus far on your journey to a successful life of independence. You are some of Alabama's most resilient graduates, facing difficult odds and persevering despite them. I challenge you to continue to defy the odds and work to achieve all of your dreams. Each of you are valued, and your lives have incredible purpose. Congratulations on your graduation, class of 2020. P.S. Don't forget to mask up.
I was born and raised in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm one of 18 siblings, and I know you can't believe that. Holidays are not as crazy as you think they are. One of 18 siblings, my mother and my father both faced life challenges themselves, which resulted in me ending up in the foster care system. My mom was in and out of incarceration, and my dad was a struggling alcoholic. I first was exposed to the foster care system when I was just 5 years old, my younger sister and I can remember being reprimanded and remember bouncing around from home to home at such a young age. We ended up reunifying with our families, but at 12 years old, my mom was sentenced to 10 years in prison. And at that point, my life really did take a turn. I was homeless. I couch surfed. I bounced around from home to home, lived with friends, and really didn't know what my future held or what my life was going to look like. It made me not feel good about myself. It made me not it made me be in survivor mode. It made me want to wake up every morning and make sure that that day was okay. And I never really had the opportunity and chance to focus on my future. It wasn't until age 14 years old where I then re-entered the foster care system, and it really just changed my life. And I say that because of the way that I perceived negative situations in my life and how I turned those negative situations into positive, just like you all are doing yourself. Like Bill stated, only 35%, oh, 30, only not 35%, excuse me. Bill stated that 35% of youth don't go on to graduate high school. And so the fact that you all have accomplished such an amazing goal, such an amazing opportunity to go on and better your experiences in life is something to really, really be proud of. When I first entered foster care, that was the first time that I was able to have some stability in my life. I was able to think about some of the things that I wanted. And I remember being in high school and talking back to my teachers and not really enjoying school and loving school. And then I remember one of my teachers really just taking me under her wing, and she became a part of my natural support system and really helped me focus on what my future was going to look like. And at that moment, I was able to turn around my junior and senior year, graduate high school, and go to college. And that is when I realized that the things that I was doing and the direction I was going was really allowing me to beat the odds, to debunk the myths that foster youth don't go on to become successful, and to really soar as an individual. And I was inspired to go on to earn a master's degree in social work so that I could really go back and change the community. And so there are really three key things when I look back and I reflect on my life. There are these three key things that I felt helped me beat the odds and continue to overcome and change my life from a survivor to a thriver. And I know that you all are well on your way in doing this because you all are already debunking the myths. You're already beating the odds and persevering, and that is something to absolutely be proud of. So my first takeaway is forgiveness. I had so much anger and pain built up when I was growing up and living day to day without my parents, and I'm sure that's something that you all can resonate with you. And I learned that I had to forgive my parents for the life that they had given me and forgive them for their mistakes and understand that they were human. And in forgiving them, I understood that forgiveness was for me, it wasn't for anyone else. And it didn't mean that I accepted what they did to me, but I was able to not maneuver through life angry and upset, and it was a total weight lifted off my shoulders, and I was able to set boundaries to be able to protect myself in other relationships just by forgiving my parents. And so one thing I encourage you all to do is to forgive. If there's someone in your life right now that you're holding on to some pain or some trauma, try to forgive them and understand that forgiveness is for you, it's not for anyone else. Another takeaway is create a support system. I shared when I was in high school, I was able to connect with a teacher of mine, and she would just take me to dinner sometimes and be a listening ear when I needed her. And I started to look at the people around me. Sometimes non-traditional relationships like a teacher is so important to your success and to having someone in your corner who believes in you and who is willing to be consistent and support you no matter what challenge you face in life. So I encourage you all to build a support system as you continue to transition into adulthood, because everyone faces challenges no matter what you go through in life. But for youth who experience the foster care system, sometimes our challenges are a lot more difficult to face and a lot more difficult to handle. And we need people who love and care about us and support us, backing us through the entire way. I have so many people that I can name that supported me in different ways. And I always love sharing about how unique my teacher was to me, in the sense that she, we still have a relationship today. I can pick up the phone and call her whenever I need to. The third takeaway is mental health is so important. It is so important for you to believe in yourself. I didn't always believe in myself growing up. I actually entered pageants when I was 16 years old. I was at my foster mother's job, looking up ways to be girly. This, who you see right now on the screen, is not the woman or not the young girl, 12 years ago. I was a girl who didn't love herself, who didn't believe in herself, and was really just living day by day, surviving. And I entered pageants to try to tap into becoming more girly. I used to wear baggy shirts and baggy shorts and tennis shoes, and shop at the thrift store, which is kind of cool today. So I didn't appreciate that when I was younger, but these weren't things that made me feel good. And I was trying to find ways to make myself feel better. I ended up entering pageants, and I won my first pageant, but thereafter didn't do very well. And so I thought that they weren't for me. I actually competed in a pageant and had a head judge tell me, Cordelia, this pageant isn't for you. You should be writing a book somewhere. And although I am going to write a book one day, it really tampered with my confidence and my ability to believe and love myself for who I am. And so fast forward to now, I'm a former Miss District of Columbia USA 2019. And last year I was able to share with the nation how important it is to believe in foster youth, believe in youth who experience the foster care system, and to debunk those myths that we don't go on to become successful, because we do. And we can continue to put the tools in place to allow youth to go on and change these statistics. There are only 3% of youth who go on to earn a post-secondary degree. We need to find ways to create supports and resources to improve those numbers. And so for me to have the ability to go on and share these experiences with everyone was such an honor. I represented the District of Columbia, our nation's capital. I completed a district-wide school tour where I talked about the importance of education. Education was absolutely my pathway to success and allowed me to create a life for myself through my education. And I understand that education may not be for everyone, but even if it's not for you on this call right now, you still did it. You still made those sacrifices and got up in the morning and did what you needed to do to get to where you are today. And although the last few moments of your senior year or your vocational program or getting your GED may not have been what you thought it, this is only going to prepare you for your future. I always believe that everything happens for a reason. I know that my lived experiences guided me to become the person that I am today. And so that's one of my favorite positive affirmations, is that everything happens for a reason. No matter if you have the reason right there in front of you, at some point you may figure out that there was something you could learn from that negative situation, or there's something positive that you can take away from that. I really like that so much, to the fact that my mom is a returning citizen, and she learned Braille while she was in prison and now transcribes Braille for the blind. And although it was difficult, me growing up without my mother, I know that through those experiences, she was able to find her passion. So I challenge you all today to think about what you're passionate about. Think about what you can do every day when you wake up out of bed and never get paid a dime for, and allow your goals to align with the things that you love to do and your passions, so that you can live a life that you never want to give up. I encourage you all to continue down the path that you're going, because I tell you, you're persevering, you have the grit, you have the tools, and to just really keep going. I'm so excited to have been honored to celebrate you all today. You all have such an amazing team and support behind you with Children's Aid Society of Alabama. And I'm so glad that I was able to share my experiences with you all and some of my tools for success. Um, it really has been an honor to be a representation and to be a role model to show others that as youth, yes, we may have the statistics may not be the best, but we do have youth who are out there debunking the myths and making strides in their lives. And that's you all on this call today. You all are living, breathing proof that we can do it and we can make a difference and we can not meet the statistics and beat the odds and define the odds. So congratulations to you all. Be proud of yourselves. Know that this is just another stepping stone to the amazing future that your life holds. Continue to believe in yourself. Continue to forgive others so that you can walk through life wholesome and without pain and without the barriers of others. And being able to have a vision where you're able to set boundaries for yourself that will protect yourself. Continue to create a village. I believe it takes a village to raise a child. So continue to create a village of supports around you, and remember that you can have as many mentors or as many as supports as you need, and they can all serve you in different ways. So continue to build up your support system and continue to focus on your mental health. I believe that what you think is what you feel is what you do, and what you do is who you become. And when you have positive affirmations that keep you going every day, when you believe in yourself, you have the confidence to accomplish any goal. I actually remember one of my social workers telling me that my goal of becoming a psychiatrist was too large. That was too big of a goal. And because I was in care and because I was sitting at the table with her, I wasn't going to be able to accomplish that. And I know that you all have had people tell you along the way that you're not going to make it. But I want you to draw closer to those people in your life who tell you that you will and who believe in you. And those are going to be the people that can be a part of your village and that help see you through whatever it is you see out to accomplish. I now would like to introduce Angelina Brown, who will be sharing her charge to you. Thank you.
Hey, you all. Congratulations on graduating high school. My name is Angelina. Today, I will be talking to you about my college experience while being in care, gaining supporters, as well as decisions. My college experience was pretty good. It was a time in my life where I began to become more serious about who I wanted to be as a person, not just as far as a career, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally, a person as a whole. I did not party that often, but I did make some friends. So while staying on campus freshman year, I basically went home every weekend because that's what I was comfortable with. As I stated before, I did not party a lot, so I did not fit in with the majority. And I did not study a lot, so I did not necessarily fit in with the overachievers. Yes, it's safe to say that I was a loner. I enjoyed me time so much the following year, I moved back home, and in a short few months, I was able to get my own apartment, all while still attending Troy. With me being back home, that helped me a lot on my journey because it allowed me to connect with the people who would help me to become a person as a whole who I needed to be. I commuted back and forth from Troy, which was at the most an hour drive. It could take up to 45 minutes depending on, traffic, of course. I also worked 25 plus hours a week. It was not until my junior and senior year that I received my full-time management position. It was tough driving back and forth on some days because I would close at 10 o'clock at night and then have to get right back up in order to meet my 8 a.m. classes. There were times I took a day out of class because I had people telling me, hey, are you okay? You look a little tired. Now, one person, that is fine. Maybe they're just, misinterpreting your face for that day. But when you have 2 or 3 people come up to you and say the same thing, you might want to check yourself and try to check what you're feeling in your body. And so I did take it upon myself to communicate with my professors and, say, hey, is this a good day that I could take to myself because I'm kind of tired. But even though I did do that, I can remember one day in particular, I made sure that, of course, I communicated with them through email, and I also submitted my work on time. So be mindful. Always try to take care of yourself, but be responsible enough to make sure your work gets done as well. So a moment of transparency. I'm finally okay with telling people, yes, I am a manager at a fast food restaurant, and yes, I have a degree in social work. At first, it was embarrassing because it was like, come on, you're a graduate and you don't have this 5-figure job yet. But hey, who is to say that you have to have a job right after college? Yes, it is the majority of everyone's dreams to get a job right after college, but let's be honest, some of us don't. I mean, personally, I cannot blame it on anyone. I cannot even blame it on myself because it is not a matter of blame. My journey required me to make decisions for myself based on what suited me. I had to make some tough decisions, and I still do. But at the end of the day, I have to live with those. And in no way am I condoning rebellion, because if you have people in your corner and they have your best interest in mind and they're leading and they're guiding you through your decisions, follow them. But there will come a time in your life when no one can make some decisions but you. And I've had to do that on countless occasions. Every opportunity is not a good opportunity, but you have to decide that. Yes, I attended the community college during the summer in order to get ahead with my classes, and I found that they were much easier, but that is what worked for me. I even had a couple of jobs to tell me no, but even in that, it still worked for me. Can you imagine that your no's are working out in your favor? Never give up just because someone tells you no. Always stay encouraged and keep the hope and keep the faith that soon someone will be able to tell you yes to an opportunity and it will fit with your journey. If you do not remember anything else, I just want you all to remember you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to. Never feel pressured by the journeys of others, and never ever compare yourself to others. You are unique. Your journey is unique. Do what is best for you and the path that you're taking. I challenge you today to first put your fears to the side. Tell yourself, I can do whatever I put my mind to. Second, always put your best foot forward first. Impressions are everything. Always keep a good attitude, a positive one. It will definitely determine how far you go in life. And last but not least, embrace change. Changes are good. Don't be afraid to step outside of the norm. I mean, you are in the process of breaking generational curses. So there is nothing that is going to seem normal or be normal about this process. So I say to you today, be bold, be strong, and be brave. Thank you.
What are resources that you feel you could have benefited from in foster care that were not available to you? I would say a tool that was not available to me growing up in care was the support after care. I think it's really important. I think this question can be twofold. I think it's really important to teach youth while they're in care so that they are prepared when they age out of care. And although I felt like I was 10 steps ahead, I still face challenges. And so preparing me to live independently, sometimes you need a co-signer to get your first apartment, or you need a savings account. And a lot of times if you are in a foster home that is not necessarily going to keep you in their home after you age out, those things can be very difficult. So I wish that there were independent living resources for that year of transition or that 2 years of transition while aging out of care, or at least the preparation to save while in care, so that I could be prepared for that, was absolutely something that I think would have been beneficial. Um, my younger sister was also in foster care, and our experiences were totally different. And she struggled a lot more than I did aging out of care. And so I saw firsthand how different the different experiences based on the resources that are provided and in the individual. And so if there was a way to prepare youth who may not have been adopted, may not have reached guardianship, and plan to live on their own, that we're prepared for that.
Okay, you have another question.
Okay.
Who was your biggest advocate while you were in care?
Myself. And advocacy is so near and dear to my heart because I was once a self-advocate. I advocated for my peers. I was president of the Youth Advisory Council, and now I'm an advocate for the foster care system. And I teach youth how to be advocates. And so I would love to host a workshop with you all to share more about advocacy, but it is so important for youth to be their own self-advocate. We hear a lot about wanting youth voice and youth input, and I think the bottom line is that youth have to have a seat at the table during their case management meetings, court hearings. They need to be involved in the process and have a deeper understanding of what they're experiencing. And so I encourage you all to be your own advocate, to reach out to a support, to ask them and help them teach you, or come and ask me, how do I step up and share with my team, with my social worker, what I want out of life? How can I be a part of this process, because I feel like my team may not be working for me, or maybe putting pressure on me to do things that I don't really want to do. And you don't have to go out there and become a advocate for the foster care system, or let this be your life or your job like I did, but you can still make so much change and stride in your own case, in your own life, by becoming your own advocate.
Now, there's another question about your siblings. While you were in care, were you able to visit them at all, or how did you navigate that?
So the 18 siblings come from my mother and my father. My younger sister and I, we're the only two that share the same mom and dad. And my mom has a total of 5 children. My dad has a total of 6. And then my mom and my dad both got remarried. And because I think family is so important to me, because I didn't really have that family cohesion that I really wanted growing up. And so I stay in contact with all my siblings, whether that be social media or FaceTiming them every day. Obviously, me and my younger sister, we're the closest. My older sister on my mom's side did experience foster care, and I was able to see them. I think my experiences were a little bit different because when I came into care, I was 14, and like I had a cell phone, and I really had a lot of control over my life. And so I did keep in contact with them, and I am in contact with them today. And we were not placed together. My sister and I, we were both separated from each other. So we definitely, it was definitely difficult. I would say that it was hard to know what was going on in her life, and understand, missing that kind of sibling connection. We lost that. We lost that when we were split up. And so it was important for me to continue a relationship with her today as an adult.
I believe we have one more question to go.
Okay. Yeah.
You covered a good deal, especially when you touched on what resources that you felt you could have benefited from in foster care. You mentioned that there is a toolkit kind of that you've been working on. Is that going to be made available to youth?
Absolutely, it absolutely will. So it's a 7-step process. After reflecting on my life and taking my professional knowledge and bridging that gap with my lived experience, I really tailor out how youth can go on to become successful as they maneuver through the foster care system. And this can be youth with the goal of independent living or the goal of adoption. And it's about the healing process and believing in yourself. And so I absolutely will be making that available, and I will be offering one-on-one coaching to work with me for a year to help map out a plan and to accomplish some goals throughout that year. So I will definitely keep you all posted in sharing some of those steps. Forgiveness is definitely one of them. And you'll be able to read and learn all about it and apply it directly to your life.
Awesome, especially that opportunity to work with you for a year. That's going to be major. So definitely, please keep us in the loop.
Absolutely. I would love to hear from some youth. Feel free to ask me any questions. Don't be shy. I definitely remember being in your shoes and, graduating. And honestly, I don't even think it hit me when I graduated high school that I was actually accomplishing something really, really great. So I encourage you all to take some time to self-reflect and be proud of things that you have overcome. And one thing I love to say about youth is, like, we know how to adapt to change, which is something that negatively impacts us in the foster care system. We're constantly maybe jumping around from home to home, and that change is negative. But one way to look at it in a positive way is to say, hey, I know how to adapt to new situations and circumstances.
That's amazing too. I would like to go back to you and your experience with education and how empowering you found that. How did you go about deciding what your path would be?
So I actually, I applied to college really late. It was, I always heard around me, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, but I never really knew how to get there. And then I ended up applying for a college, and I got accepted like very late. And I traveled to Old Dominion University and went to school there for 2 years. And then I was studying psychology. I learned that you had to go to an accredited university to become a social worker. And so I did that. I went on, I ended up transferring to George Mason University. And throughout that process, I knew early on what I wanted, and I made sure I just did everything I could to make the transition as smooth as possible. And so that really is what inspired me to get a degree in social work, but also I just really was passionate about helping other people. I used to go to conferences when I was in care, and I was surrounded by a bunch of other foster youth. And when I at these conferences, I was inspired by other people's stories, but then also their pain and their frustrations with the system. And that's when I became a peer advocate. And so I always knew that I wanted to help others and give back to others. And then I said, you know what, I got to go get my master's degree. And, I was grateful I was able to accomplish that and be successful in that as well. But when I say, like, I skipped school, when my mom was first sentenced to 10 years in prison when I was 12, I got recommended for expulsion. I used to skip school, talk back to my teachers, and I really wasn't on the path to, aging out and graduating high school. And something just clicked. A light went off, and I said, you know what? I just thought to myself, Cordelia, if you want to be successful, if you don't want to be like your parents, if you want to break that cycle, how are you going to get there? And that is, I started putting all my energy and focus into school, because that was the only thing that was consistent in my life through all the dysfunction. So I just want to thank you all again for having me. And I'm so proud of all of you who have accomplished so much. I wish I was there with you all in person to just, break bread and have a great time. But due to the circumstances, this doesn't make your celebration any less than. It actually makes it way more important, because you're going to look back on this time and say, wow, I really graduated or accomplished a goal or got my GED or finished a program during COVID-19. And not all of us will be able to say that. So be proud of yourself, continue to thrive, continue to set goals, continue to believe in yourself, and create a natural support system. And I wish you all the best.
Hi, you guys. It's Miss Stephanie. Once again, we would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2020. No matter what your program was, we couldn't be more proud of your accomplishments and what's to come. Thank you so much for joining us today on our virtual celebration. It pains us terribly that we were not able to celebrate with you in person, but rest assured, personal days are coming again. We would like to give a special thank you to Miss Cordelia Cranshaw. Thank you so much, Ms. Former Washington, D.C., for taking time to stop out and share with our kids about how to be formally empowered. Thank you so much for telling us how to advocate and what steps are needed for our next level. Miss Angelinette Brown, thank you so much. You are a true testament that doing things with help and support can totally take you to the next level. Know that your words did not fall on deaf ears, and we can't wait to see how our young people use what you've given them today. Also, to all our 2020 graduates, please be sure to check out all the educational opportunities and resources available to Alabama's foster youth on fosteringhopeal.org.